Dear friends, it's incredible to believe that in just a few hours from now, Emir Hashem, the Yom Tov of Purim will begin. And I've heard a lot of people saying that this Purim is going to be so different. The beautiful and large mesibos and parties and su'udos and meals that we've been used to having in past years are not really going to be the hallmark of this Purim. And people say it, of course, with a tinge of sadness, because anytime something changes, especially when it's something that you enjoy, it's sad. It's sad, and then people say, it's Erev Shabbos. And again, I happen to think that having Purim on an Erev Shabbos is such a bracha. Think about this. You get to go from the Su'udah, you get dressed for Shabbos, you come to Shul, lichadodi, singing, hartzig, beautiful, tefillah. It's uplifting. To me, it feels like a hemshech, a continuation of Purim going into Shabbos. But I also understand that people feel, and it's a more rushed day. You have to get on your shalach mana, start your Su'udah early. It's a lot of bahala, it's a lot of running around, and probably a lot of confusion. But it got me thinking, so what is the real Simcha of Purim? Wherein lies the joy of this day? Because if it is the large meals and the large gatherings, then what does that mean? This year there's no Simcha? Can't be. So where is the Simcha? What is the Simcha of Purim? So there's an incredible Gemara, Meseches Megillah. The Gemara says a pretty straightforward Gemara. HaKorius HaMegillah Lamafreya Lo Yatsa. If you go ahead and you read the Megillah out of order, you're not Yotzei. Simple halacha. So if you go ahead and you begin in the last chapter and read it backwards, you're not Yotzei. Or if you start with the last chapter, then go to 1, then go to 3, then go to 7, then go to 8, then go to 10, you're not Yotzei. Straightforward halacha. You have to read the Megillah in order. But the Sfas Emes, the Ger Rebbe Zecher Tzaddik V'Kadosh L'Bracha, says something so incredibly beautiful. The Rebbe says, HaKorius HaMegillah Mafreya means like this. If when you read the Megillah, all you are reading is a historical story, Lamafreya in the past, all you're reading is something that happened thousands of years ago in a faraway land, in a faraway distant historical time, Lo Yatsa. That's not Purim. You're not Yotzei the Megillah. Because what is the essence of Purim? The essence of Purim is that when I read the Megillah, I feel blanketed by the Hashgacha Sabori, by divine providence. Because when I read that story, I see that just as the Jews of Shushan were so overwhelmed by hopelessness, sadness, and despair because they thought everything was so bleak. And remember, they faced the potential threat of annihilation. But yet HaKadosh Baruch Hu was working the entire time behind the scenes to be able to bring about the salvation, to be able to bring about the Yeshua. When I read the Megillah, I have to be filled with simcha and confidence because that's my story. Baruch Hashem, I don't face the threat of annihilation, but I face challenges. And sometimes my challenges seem overwhelming, whether it's the challenges of a global pandemic or whether it's my personal challenges, maybe Shalom Bayis, Parnasa, Gidul Banim, whatever it might be. We all face our challenges. And sometimes I feel like my challenges paint such a bleak picture of my world. But when I read the Megillah, I am supposed to feel embraced by the Hashgachas Habori, by divine providence. When I read the Megillah, I see, wow, even when things look overwhelming and bleak, Hashem's always there. He's always orchestrating the event. He's always doing the universal choreography. So everything is great. Everything is going to be just fine, even if I can't yet see it. There's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to be despondent about. The Simcha of Purim is not rooted in a large masiba, in a large party. The Simcha of Purim is not rooted in a large Su'udah. Those are ways in which we express our joy. The Simcha of Purim comes from the reality that the Purim story, the Megillah, is not a story that happened thousands of years ago in some faraway place to some faraway people. The Megillah is my story. The Megillah is my story. It's the story of my life. Because the story of my life is a story of challenges, just like all of our lives, brachas and challenges. But the story of my life is also the story of a God who is always working with me, often behind the scenes in ways that I'm never aware, to bring about the best result possible, or the best result for me. That's the Simcha of Purim. That's the Simcha of Purim. So whether you're having your Su'udah with your family, a larger group, a vaccinated group, whatever you're doing, or even if you're going to be having your Su'udah by yourself, and there are still some in our community who are holding by that point, take a few moments and remember, HaKoriyas HaMegillah LeMafreya Lo Yatza. Purim is not a celebration of what was. Purim is a celebration of what is. The Purim story is my story. The Purim story is your story. The Purim story is our story. That Ribono Shel Olam holds our hand every step of the way. Sometimes we feel his embrace. Sometimes we feel like he's left the building. But even in those moments, he's always there, choreographing every moment, choreographing every step, and choreographing a salvational conclusion and end to every chapter and to every life novel. That's the Simcha of Purim. May we be Zochem Meretz Hashem to feel that Simcha, to feel the joy of the divine embrace, to feel the joy of divine choreography, to feel the joy of the Ribono Shel Olam, taking every step we take in life right alongside us. Wishing everyone a Freilichen Purim and a good Shabbos.